This video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. There are some truly wonderful currencies around the world, and then there are some that are just plain weird, and I mean really weird. Join me as we explore everything from donkeys that poop gold to naked ladies riding sharks. And if you enjoy this video, please consider subscribing. Let's start with some really unique banknotes from Brazil. Today the country uses a rather colourful Brazilian real, but up until 1993, the cruzeiros were used. What makes these notes so unusual is that they appear the same upside down as they do the right way up. It's a type of design called an ambigram, and whilst the term usually applies to fonts and typography, such as this example of the word ambigram itself, as a broader design concept, it's most commonly found on the faces of playing cards. But I've never before seen this trick used on a banknote. Everything from the portrait, text, denomination, to even the watermark appears twice, on both sides of the note. And the images on the reverse have been really cleverly designed to achieve the effect, such as the scientific instruments on the 1000 cruzeiros, and the battle scene shown on the 100. Next we travel to 1920s Germany, in the period between the two world wars. Notegeld, which literally translates as emergency money, were banknotes issued by local governments or banks when the monetary demand could not be sufficiently met by the German central bank. Each town or city usually produced their own, and they normally included expiry dates when the note's value could be redeemed until. The banks soon began to get creative and print colourful and whimsical designs, often telling stories or depicting local landmarks or folklore. Across the country, literally tens of thousands of different designs were being printed, and some truly marvellous banknotes were born. But one in particular remains infamous to this day for how utterly bizarre it is. This is a 2 mark from the city of Paderborn, depicting an alleyway on one side, and well, a donkey going to the toilet on the other. Now plenty of banknotes today feature animals, such as the South African rand, Philippine peso, and even the Brazilian real I mentioned earlier. But as far as I'm aware, no other features an animal doing its business. So why exactly did the city choose this image for their currency? Well, the poem below offers some insight, roughly translating as a joke about wishing their donkeys, let's just say, produced coins. It's a light-hearted attempt at bringing some humour and amusement to an otherwise bleak and depressing time. And it worked. Almost 100 years later, here I am, sharing with you their absurd sense of humour. Next we visit the Cook Islands for what is possibly the single weirdest banknote in existence. The $3 note, which is a strange enough denomination in itself, depicts a naked lady riding a shark. Pretty weird, right? Well, wait until you hear the backstory. This is Ina, lover of Tinirao, god of the ocean, but the only way she could reach him was to cross the treacherous sea. Luckily a shark offered to carry her across, and Ina packed several coconuts to keep hydrated along the way. But eventually nature called, and Ina relieved herself on the shark, hoping he wouldn't notice. The shark was furious, and threatened to throw her into the sea. He later calmed down, but when Ina cracked another coconut open on his head, the shark made good on his promise, and threw Ina into the open ocean. Fortunately another shark came and saved her, but it's a pretty colourful story and made for a very peculiar banknote. Now talking of people surfing on sharks, this video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. Isn't that just the smoothest sponsored video transition you've ever seen? A VPN, or Virtual Private Network, is a privacy protection tool which ensures your online safety. Surfshark encrypts all the data sent via the internet to protect you from malware, trackers, block ads, and prevent phishing. It means no one will be able to see your passwords or private messages, or steal your photos, videos, or sensitive data. You'll be invisible to hackers and surveillance. And VPNs are great for accessing content not usually available in your location, such as Netflix, which has a vastly different library of films and TV shows in different countries. The US Netflix, for instance, only features 3 Tom Hanks films, whilst the UK features 5, the Australian features 8, and the Canadian Netflix a staggering 10. Surfshark is the only VPN that offers unlimited devices on just one account. And if you click the link in the description and use code Chris, you'll get 83% off a 2-year plan and an extra month free. Imagine all the Tom Hanks movies you can watch in 2 years. And if you decide it's not for you, you can cancel within 30 days to get your money back. Let's continue to the complete opposite side of the planet for the Norwegian krone. Now these notes bridge the gap between weird and insanely cool. The fronts are normal enough, colourful and modern designs with themes relating to the sea. The 50 krone portrays a lighthouse, the 100 a Viking ship, the 200 an Atlantic cod, and the 500 a rescue lifeboat, the RS-14 Stavanger. But it's a reverse where these notes become truly unique, each displaying an abstract and fiercely modern pixelated design. The 50 vaguely shows a lighthouse's beacon, the 100 a cargo vessel, the 200 a fishing boat, and the 500 an oil platform. However, cash is no longer king in Norway, with an increasing number of establishments only accepting card. Maybe these overtly unconventional banknotes are a sort of response to that. But nonetheless, they're a thing of beauty, and undoubtedly the most modern banknotes anywhere in the world. Now this final banknote isn't really weird at all, rather it has a really peculiar backstory. You see, back when I worked in a foreign exchange bureau, this 100 Peruvian intis note used to turn up all the time. It could always be found in the charity collection box, and I'd frequently have customers bring one to me with a handful of old money they found in a drawer, inquiring as to if it was worth anything. And it's not. Peru no longer use the intis. The currency went through hyperinflation and they're now worth just a fraction of a penny. So why did so many people in suburban England have this note? Well, I eventually found the answer after several months of Google detective work. Back in 1998, a magazine was launched, entitled Money of the World. A new issue came out every 2 weeks and each included a new banknote or coin, to encourage and grow the reader's collection. And as these types of magazines often do, issue 1 was a special introductory price of only 99p. The magazine was heavily marketed on TV, and as such a lot of people bought it. And you can probably guess which banknote came with it. That's right, the 100 Peruvian intis. So 20 years later, when the magazine had been long forgotten and its readers' interest moved on, they'd stumble across the note again and bring it to me to exchange. I've since learned that a similar thing happened with the 100 Escudos note from Mozambique, which came with the second issue of the magazine, but I personally didn't come across a single one, perhaps due to the second issue's price rise. And that's it. Hopefully these banknotes have left you suitably bewildered, and don't forget to click on the link in the description and use code CHRIS to save a very specific 83% on Surfshark VPN.